Well, I did this film with him called The Green Story, and it's a very charming script. And, you know, it's going to open very soon. I think it opens next week. And so we met, we got talking on the set, and he mentioned this film, the short film, to be done in his hometown, Tbilisi. And had I ever been? I'd ever heard of it. Would I like to go? I said, sure, I'll go, yeah. And if I've got the time, you know, that's the thing. And so I'm on my way to Edinburgh to start a big film. And so on the way to Edinburgh, I came via Georgia to do it. I think it was beautiful. They're very nice people, very good crew. They were excellent. I mean, as good as anywhere. And I think everybody had fun.
Am I wearing this? No. Wow.
I love new directors. I like very much working with new directors because you can see them formulating their career and how they're going to do it. And maybe you can push them in the right direction or not, you know.
And action, Malcolm.
You know, Lindsay Anderson was the great director of his era. He was a genius. And I say that now, oh my God, look at this rain. He was a total genius and very beautiful man and a great friend. I had no idea about film acting. I had not a clue. But he gave me the confidence. He just talked to me as a human being, didn't look down upon me being very inexperienced. He was just amazingly cordial, nice, and just a fantastic mentor. It was like working with a professor from Oxford. That's what he was like. He knew everything. He was he was an incredibly intelligent man. The part that I played was a pure revolutionary. He wasn't a political person, he was just a pure revolutionary. And he was the purest character I ever played, because it was the first. And so I had no influences, I just did it. I completely sympathized with what the character was doing. It's not about, by the way, they don't do any killing. It's a fantasy really, but it's not like Columbine. I remember when Columbine happened, they were saying, oh, it's just like If. It's not like If at all, because If was really in response to what was happening socially in England and in Europe and probably the West. And these schools are for boys, usually all. Now they allow girls, but the schools were set up to educate the sons of the aristocracy. So they would go to these schools, live a life of privilege, and then go out and rule the empire. That's what they were there for. So that when Lindsay chose this subject, it was a microcosm of what was happening in England. It was very anti-establishment. It made fun of them. It put a dagger to the heart of the establishment. And that's what we wanted to do, because we felt this whole mood of change. And then if you look across at our neighbors in France, so the big revolution was on. Even in America, you know, Vietnam demonstrations, the whole thing. The smell and aura of revolution was around.
I serve the nation.
There's no such thing as a wrong war. Violence and revolution are the only pure acts.
So it became an instant, huge, absolutely cult hit movie. But here's where the establishment are very smart. Instead of being frightened of the movie, the British establishment embraced it. So they assimilated it, which meant basically that, you know, they took all the rebellion away by making them part of the establishment, which is what they always do because they're very clever. He was great, but he had no idea about pacing of scene, the actors, forget it, that was my deal. But making it look extraordinary, the look, that was him. Brilliant. Incredible. I mean, he, as much as Lindsay was a genius about the human condition, Kubrick was the same with the sort of the look of things and the techniques of filmmaking, which he was brilliant. It was a huge hit, you know, and people went crazy, and but I was very disappointed because they just hooked on to the violence in the movie, and the violence is nothing. I'm going, the violence? What the hell are they talking about? We made a black comedy. From that point of view, it's delicious. You know, it's great. And I think it was the first time, I may be wrong, but it's one of the first instances where an immoral anti-hero is really likable. And I think the film is an extraordinary translation of book to film, which is not easy. And you know, great books don't necessarily make great movies, as we know. I can give you a million instances. So, but Kubrick was very aware of that and very smart in the way he handled it. And also the way he cast it, the way, you know, he's very careful about his casting. He's really, he waits and waits until it's right, because unless it's right, there's nothing. Casting is 90% of it. I was told that by Lindsay and by Stanley.
The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love.
I believe in movies, the great magical moments are by accident. And, you know, coming up with Singing in the Rain for, you know, it was an accident. It was just came because I was dancing and I just started to sing it. I didn't think about it. It just was automatic. So a happy accident, you know, art is a happy accident many, many times.